And I mean, how many people total worked on The Witness as programmers?
As
Do you reckon?
programmers, there were, we grew the team slowly over time, but sort of at the peak, we had 4 programmers full time and 1 or 2 people who were, helping out occasionally as contractors. We had this very funny experience where once the game was mostly done, we, NVIDIA had a console called the NVIDIA Shield that they were promoting,
Oh yeah,
and they wanted
I
to put
remember
the
that.
game on there, and they were like, "Hey, we'll port the game," and it's its own game engine, so it has its own rendering code and all this stuff, and we were like, "Sure, we'll give you the source code, you guys port it," and we got a license fee back from them. They ended up putting, I don't want to say the actual number, but it was an integer multiple of the number of people on our entire team just to port it. And I don't know what like it's not probably not those people's entire job, or maybe it is. I don't know, but like it is a very different reality, right? Between like scrappy people in an independent company making something happen from first principles and like the business programmer culture.
But so as a contrast, right? Netflix employs 11,000 people. Zoom employs 8,000 people. Spotify, like 6 or 7,000.
Yeah.
Unity employs 5,000 odd people. They're making a game engine. You had to make a game engine as well as making the actual game.
Yeah.
Although maybe
Well,
that's an example of where Unity's game engine has to target the needs of whoever versus I assume you knew your requirements and just
yeah,
built
it
features
is.
for it.
Yeah, it is much, much, much easier to make an engine for a specific game than it is to make one that people will want to give you money for games generally, right? That's a
Yeah.
whole different ballpark because most of that latter thing is about tools for all sorts of different things, and then somehow getting all that different data to run efficiently. Like, when you have one specific game, for that game what must be fast, what must be done well. And then as you start adding more hypothetical games, that broadens out, right? And it becomes a much more difficult problem. And so certainly, I wouldn't try to do a game engine to compete with Unity or Unreal with like 4 programmers. That's just not going to go very well. But I don't think you need a company the size of Unity, right?